red hands in the dough, funny pot. Sticky fingers, palm looking, the block stay hot. Cyraxx, shadow boxing, swinging at the air, undefeated in delusion. Reality don't care, Jupiter creeping, got the whole crew shook. Predator rhymes, got a band from the book. Josh Block at the hill, bottle in his clutch. Captain of a ship that's been sinking too much. Over Navy rattling, can't step to the throne. Worry, talk the mic, let them reap what they've sown.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. Thanks for stopping by the channel again today. As many of you already know, Cyraxx has been melting down on panel with William every single day since the van incident the other night. And last night into this morning, he has just been on stream non-stop, freaking out, going from Smugraxx to Cyraxx. He's doing like the entire cycle in 2-hour rotations at this point. So I'm going to play a couple of videos from the Goblin Records channel, and we're going to take a look at the absolute fool he's been making of himself. But before we do, we're going to watch this video that's only available on Rumble, because the content of it is so far removed from YouTube's terms of service that there's not even really a way to edit it where you get the full picture of what he's trying to say. So I'm going to play it. There's going to be some parts that I cut out that I'll explain to you guys what's happening in those parts. Because while I understand other people had the instinct not to put it on YouTube at all, because it's so far outside of TOS, I think it's important to get the idea of it out to as many people as possible, because it is just absolutely wild that he's saying this stuff publicly online for everyone to hear, for everyone to see. It's recorded. This could be sent to law enforcement agencies, and I really think that it should be, to be totally honest with you. The level that he's reached at this point, I feel as though the Akron Police Department ignores him and his family because they think that it would be too much of a problem to go deal with them. You know, it would just be so inconvenient for them to have to show up to that house and deal with these PDF files again. But at this point, with the threats that he's making, the amount of stings that he's been caught in, call me crazy, but I think that we should make it more of a problem for them to ignore him. I think they should be getting phone calls. I think they should be getting emails. I think that they should be getting footage of chants sent to them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, until somebody finally says, you know what, as much as a pain in the ass as it is to go deal with them over there, as much as I don't like the smell or the bugs or the wailing for Ed, Ed! Ed, help me! Ed! Help you, Ed! I just think they've been ignoring this problem for too long. So I'm going to play this video for you guys, and I'm going to link it below in case you guys want to go take a look at the whole thing for yourselves. But without further rambling, let's get into it.
Hello everyone, I'm here to give a very clear warning. This is not a threat, and let me be clear on this. This is not a threat. This is purely a fucking warning. Out of safety for myself and my family. Alright, let me make that very clear. This is purely a fair warning to any troll out there looking to do harm to me, to harass my family, or to do harm to my family. This is not a threat. This is a promise and a warning.
Why is this troglodyte wearing a wedding ring that's falling off of his bony little finger?
Any trolls show up to my house again, or try to put my family's lives in danger like y'all did the other day, when y'all tried to have my family's van torched and turned into a next person to try to do some shit, you will be met with, there will be no asking questions, there will be no calling the police.
So what I just cut out right there is that he is saying that anybody else who shows up to his house will lose their life. Like he's openly just stating that. I don't know how he's so stupid when threats like this have got him into hot water before, and he's almost faced an actual consequence. Maybe because he's never really faced a real one, and Sally always bails him out. He doesn't believe that anything will ever stick. But that's what he's saying there, after he goes on his whole rant about if you show up to my house, if you threaten my family. He is saying that such great harm will come to you that you will no longer be breathing, is the best way that I can put it on YouTube. And he's, like I said, you can click the link, you can go over to Rumble. He's just openly stating that as an open threat, not even to anyone in particular.
It will be on site. I am tired of my family being put in direct danger of you guys. You guys have now gone from attacking me on the internet to putting my family's lives in fucking danger. It's one thing to make videos about me and to talk shit. That's fine. Post your ass videos. I don't care. But to put my family's lives in danger, I will not stand for it. So this is a very, very clear, very fair warning to any troll who thinks they're gonna come to my house and do harm to me or my family or vandalize any of our property again. You show up here, you will be and that's not a threat. That is a fair warning.
Well, Chance, by definition, it is a threat. And to be clear, the part that I cut out there where he says specifically what's going to happen to you involves a firearm. So again, get this link over to the Akron PD. Let them know that this cryptid in the attic, I mean, sitting here looming over the camera like it's a horror movie set, literally looking like a mutant with the ring, everything about this looks like a horror movie set. This is not, to a certain extent, I feel like nature kind of does tell you when something is dangerous, and when it's terrifying and repulsive looking and snaggle-toothed and googly-eyed, like staring down the barrel of the camera like that, that's nature telling you this is not something that you want to be around. And it's up there in your community, Akron Police Department, threatening people's lives with firearms over jokes on the internet. Like, that's the level of unhinged that this person is. And I just want to say, not to get on my high horse or my soapbox here, but it is an absolute lucky draw for the Akron PD that no actual crime has ever been committed to an extent that, like, it's really bad. Like, that no one's ever been really hurt, that nobody's ever gotten, let's say, roopled on a bike trail. You know what I mean? Because just imagine for a second a world where the goblin really does snap and he goes outside and harms someone. What do you think every news outlet is going to report? The first question is going to be, why did the Akron PD never do anything about this guy? The first question is going to be, oh, well, there's all these videos talking about how he and his own family called the police 113 times, supposedly. It's probably closer to 500 now with all the years since he initially made that claim. And every time the police showed up, he was clearly having a mental health episode, ranting and raving about people named N-Word Boy and William Glory Hole. He's been caught online in multiple predator stings.
Who did you piss off? It says Chance will diddle for free.
He's gotten into physical altercations with multiple people in the area.
Bitch! Get the fuck out of here. Who's the king? You are? Then run away now. And shut the fuck up. Fine. You win. You win. You win. Please let us go.
He's had multiple charges against him for assaulting his own family members. So it's like, when you look, like, we laugh at it, and we've laughed at it for years because the whole situation is so bizarre and insane. But just think about this from the perspective of, like, someone who doesn't know anything about lolcows, and Cyraxx has actually just gone out and harmed somebody and been arrested for, like, a heinous crime. Like, at that point, again, local news stations, even just, like, the people in the community who are only tangentially aware of him, the first question is going to be like, hold on a second. They've had 1 million police interactions, and there's a decade worth of evidence of him using insane racial slurs, talking to kids, and threatening violence against people. So, like, how would, like it's just gonna be one of those scenarios like Randy Stair, where when he finally did what he did, everybody was like there were people in his life and there were people on the internet who were like, of course he did. Have you seen the hundreds of hours of video footage of the insanity? And it's, I don't know, man. Maybe with world events recently, I'm a little bit extra sensitive, or I'm feeling a little bit extra strong about people making threats with firearms when they clearly have serious mental health issues. But there's something about the fact that Cyraxx has been telling us exactly what he intends to do to people for decades now. I mean, literally for a decade now. And no one's ever done a damn thing about it. And now he's threatening it again, and, like, does 99% of my mind think he's absolutely impotent and incapable of ever carrying out anything like this? Yeah, 99% of me thinks that, but I think that's what people say about all of these people. And then when they do, it's like, oh shit, well, I guess we were wrong this time, too late now. So like I said, I'm sorry if the tone of this video is a little bit off today. I was going to say, I feel like there's been so many tragedies in the last week that it's just, like, hard to hear somebody threaten this type of violence and not take them seriously. And I'm at a point where I'm just like, you know what? Why would we not take him at his word? Even if there's no way that he can even probably lift the type of a weapon that he's talking about using, even if it would probably be physically impossible for him to carry this out, if he's threatening to carry it out, let's treat it like it's real, right? Like that's how I feel about it at this point. So After a decade of them not doing a damn thing, I can't imagine any law enforcement agency in Akron is going to do anything about him. But at the same time, I still think as many of us as possible should get this footage over to them, because it's completely ridiculous that he's been allowed to just run rampant, talk to kids, make threats, and expose himself and do everything else that he does on the internet for such a ridiculously long period of time and never face any tangible consequences for it. So I'm going to play the rest of this video, and when we jump back over to the Goblin Record streams, I promise Morty will be back to cracking jokes. I'll be intercutting all the funny footage of him crapping himself and getting beat up by Marty in between all the ridiculous stuff that he says. It'll get a lot more lighthearted in about 5 minutes, but I needed to take this seriously for a minute, because as much as it's easy for us not to take him seriously and to laugh at him, this is a really serious thing he's saying right now. And on the off chance that he ever actually really does anything, it is going to be really, really goddamn embarrassing to anybody who wears a badge within 30 miles of him that every single warning sign was out there, and he told you himself on multiple occasions what he was going to do, and you never did a thing.
Because at that point, you are trespassing on our property. And in the state of Ohio, if you pose a threat, my fist, and you are here on private property, we have every right to show on site if need be. So, fair warning to William Glory Hole and any troll out there that thinks they're going to fuck around, you're not no more. You tried to turn my family's van into a...
Chance, it looked like a child, like literally based on the height of the little burns on the side of the van. It looked like a child held a lighter to the side of the plastic. You didn't find, like, wires all twisted up under it and components and stuff like that. Like, the door was a little bit melted. So jumping from even, like, you tried to burn the van all the way to you tried to make it into a weapon just doesn't even, it doesn't even make even close to sense.
That is a life-threatening situation. Alright, that van could have blown up. It could have killed me. It could have killed my mom, my stepdad, my dog. It could have burned our house down. You guys are now playing with shit that you don't need to be playing with. Yes, those were scorch marks on the van. So, fair warning to any troll out there that thinks they are going to fuck around with me and my family, and you put my family in danger again. There ain't gonna be no warnings. There ain't gonna be no giving you a verbal warning. No. I will be on site.
Alright, so again, if you couldn't get it through the censorship there, he literally just said he's not going to warn anybody. If you come to his house, what he threatened to do earlier in the video, he's just going to do it. He said there's not going to be a verbal warning, you're not going to be asked to leave, he's just going to do it. And again, like, to take this very seriously, if he were to get his hands on something, we've seen how he thinks that everyone is a troll. Like, not just William, not just N-word boy. He thinks people riding their bike by the house are a troll. He thinks the UPS guy is a troll. He's so, like, worked up into a state of paranoia that he thinks everyone is trying to mess with him all the time. So the idea that he's saying if you show up to his house and he just perceives you in his own mind to be a troll, he's going to do harm to you with a weapon, this is not something to be taken lightly. Like, the poor mailman could end up getting it. You know what I mean? He's not going to ask you who you are. You're not going to get a verbal warning. He's just going to do what he's saying he's going to do. And that's like, again, just to take him at his word, to take that seriously, that means that just anyone near the house this could happen to. Somebody out to check the water meter this could happen to. Somebody delivering a newspaper this could happen to. So it's just like, I'm really tired of everybody treating his open, he literally says, let me be clear, to make the before he makes the threats. Like, the threat could not be any more serious. I'm really tired of people treating it like it's no big deal just because it's Chance. Because that's how we all felt about Chris Chan, right? Chris Chan said insane, ridiculous things. He was clearly, like, developing into a state of delusion that was getting worse and worse, and we all just laughed. And look, don't get me wrong, I still think it's funny. I still laugh at old Chris Chan videos, but at the same time, he then went on to do something horrible. So, like, we can laugh when this dude does karaoke, but when he says he's going to harm people, I think the police should do something. Call me crazy, but that's my soapbox. That's my TED Talk on the subject. He goes on for another 7 minutes like this, and if you want to watch it, I think I counted like 20 times in the 12-minute video that he put out. 20 times he makes threats that literally just stating it out loud would constitute a crime. So, Now we'll jump back over to the more lighthearted stuff. I'm going to try to put my fun Morty hat back on after that. I did get really frustrated watching that, but hopefully this will be a little more lighthearted and we can laugh at this a little bit. This is from, at the time of recording, like 2 hours ago, so it'll still be pretty fresh in a few hours when this video comes out. And then after this, we have another one that's even more recent.
Well, yeah, so I'm gonna wait for y'all to get up in here. Wait for y'all to get up in here, man. A lot of y'all probably wondering, like, dude, what are you doing going live at, like, fucking 12 at night, bro? Like, shouldn't you be asleep? First off, I do music. I work at weird hours. It's what I do.
You don't work at any hours at all.
Alright? But that ain't why we're here. Well, it is while we're here, but not while we're here. Now, as y'all know, I've been doing music since 2009.
I know you've been talking about doing music since 2009. It's kind of funny that he's like, I'm only up this late because I do music. So now let me regale you guys with a story about doing... It's not going to be me doing music. It's going to be me talking about doing music.
Well, I started officially in 2010.
This is literally like if Mrs. Morty walked into the living room at 2 in the morning and I was doing a Lego set. She was like, what the hell are you doing up? And I was like, I'm a law student. I'm a busy guy. I have essays to write as I build my Ferrari Lego. And then she'd be like, well, should you maybe be doing that then?
And as y'all know, over the last 6 years, William Gloryhole, who is a troll, has had his hand in stealing my music. Like, it's been very, very fucked up. You know, it's beyond fucked. Like, this motherfucker has literally sat there and openly admitted to stealing my music. He has said it on Livestream multiple times, as well as me getting video evidence and photo evidence of this motherfucker openly admitting to not only stealing my music, but also sat there and said that his main goal is to keep me from making a living.
Well, you know what they say, Chance.
Goblins aren't allowed to have nice things or make a living. And you know what's really fucked up? I have all the evidence to show. Matter of fact, I'm lucky this motherfucker didn't get his hands on one of my songs that I just recorded earlier this morning. And honestly, dude, I don't give a fuck about Wavy at this point. And y'all want to know what songs this man has stolen? He's stolen a lot of my songs from me, dude. Everything from my most popular song, Street Racing Scene 2.0, which was the updated, more revamped, chilled and relaxed version of that song. But let me go here to this. Let me go to my band lab. Yo, Tyler Scott, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? But I want y'all to hear what this man has done. Actually, what am I doing? All I gotta do is go like this. Fuck it. Bust this open. Let me bust my Chromebook open. Go here to... Actually, I don't even need to go to band lab. I want y'all to hear one of the songs that this motherfucker stole from me, and it's fucked up.
I'm just going to jump in now and say the amount of time that he has spent in this video so far, just like scrolling through his computer, trying to find a file, scratching his neck, scratching his head, barely even speaking, like the dead air on this one is worse than it even normally is.
Matter of fact, I'm going to report this really quick before I get into the songs. Let's go here, report this for harassing me. Reported. Now, let's go here. Let's go here to my music. American Outcast, yes, that's the song that he got. He didn't get the other one, though. But I'm going to go here. This is the song that this motherfucker stole from me. Let's go here.
Alright, well, he really can't find this song, so we're going to jump ahead.
So, yes, these people are tyrants. These people get away with ruining my life every day. They get away with ruining my life. And my problem with that, dude, is this. William Gloryhole has openly said that he will do whatever it takes to keep me from making a living. Goblins aren't allowed to have nice things or make a living.
Is it him that's keeping you from going to the dentist, too?
I can tell you why. Because according to William Gloryhole, I'm not allowed to make money, I'm not allowed to make a living, and I'm not allowed to have nice things. And I'm not allowed to have friends. Those are the bullshit ass fucking rules that he's put in place. And he has said this to my face and openly on his live stream the other day, where he openly admitted and said that I'm not allowed to make money. And he will do whatever it takes to keep me from making a living. I shit you not when I say this, and I am not exaggerating by any means at all. Me and one of my closest friends that I grew up with, we said
all his friends abandoned him, he said the other day, right? That's one of the worst things William did, is he made all of his friends turn to him. But then like a mantra every time that he talks about any of the people that he talks to. He goes, one of my closest friends, my little brother, somebody I've known for years, somebody I grew up with. So it's like, apparently, Chance, you have like the best community of people surrounding you in the world. I can't tell you. I could probably count on my hand how many people I grew up with that I still talk to as a 26-year-old man. But Chance, you're a decade older than me, and you're talking to like your whole kindergarten class. It's amazing.
Sat down and added up everything between merchandise, record sales, tours for my music as well as ad revenue, sponsorships, views, clicks, all that shit added into one. You want to know what's sad, dude? You want to know how much money I'm losing out on a year? In 1 month, I'm losing out on over $1,000 a month. Bitch.
$1,000 a month? You're losing out on an amount of money that still wouldn't allow you to support yourself, and you should still go get a real job, but would probably be enough for you to buy some new video games and like a new racing rig to play games online? Well, I guess I'd be pretty upset too.
And that's just on YouTube's end. That's not even counting music sales. That's not even counting me going on tour. That's not me, releasing merchandise and my clothing brand that I own called Hollow Hearts Apparel Clothing, which is a clothing brand that I ran that William tried to have shut down and tried to steal from me.
When I set up the merch shop for this channel, it took me a good 35 minutes to set up the fourth wall shop. Having a shop online with like a design on a t-shirt that's basically like a font that you typed out, that's not owning a clothing line. Like, those are two very different things. That's the difference between releasing a song on SoundCloud and owning a record label. Those are two very different things, Chance.
That's just off of YouTube alone. In 1 year, I'm losing out on $1.1 million a year.
Yeah, that's what 1,000 times 12 is, right? 1.1 million, just like Marty's 3 cents in taxes at 40 hours a week, added up to like $17 billion a year. And I wish I was doing goblin taxes with my money. I really probably could just be living a lot larger than I am.
Which is money that I can use to help my family, get my own house, get my own place, go on tour, help my family live comfortably, help some of my friends that are fellow music artists that could use the help, or just my friends in general that could use the help.
Yeah, so quick question, Chance. Anytime that you've even gotten a small amount of money, have you ever given a dime of it to Sally or Ed? I get if somehow somebody bought Chance a lottery ticket as a joke and he hit the jackpot for like $1.5 million, I would not be surprised unless somehow Sally was able to like, slip some special medicine into his wet food and then steal the ticket from him. She would never see a dime of that money. Like, whatever Chance decided to go do with it, her and Ed would still be living in that dilapidated house on Social Security. She would never see a dime.
But instead, I sit here fighting instead of working. Every day I sit here and fight and defend my content, my merchandise, my music, and everything that I have created, all because this motherfucker wants to steal from me. You want to know what their ultimate goal is? And I know it sounds funny and wild, but it's legitimately true. These guys' ultimate goal for me is to wait out my mom till she passes away. And then when she passes away in 20, 30 years from now.
In 20 or 30 years from now? My God, Chance. Well, unlike you at the beginning of the video, I'm not going to wish that on anyone. But I'm just like, from a common sense standpoint of understanding like health and age, I highly doubt that Sally, into her 70s, living in the conditions that she lives in, is going to make it to be 102 or 104 years old. That is a shocking estimate, Chance. But just a couple of months ago, he said that, like, he was talking about his own life, and he was like, when I pass away in 60 or 70 years, like, I don't know who told him to estimate that everyone will live to be 100 years old, especially viciously unhealthy people who live in hostile environments. But man, that is just wild to hear him say.
They want to make it to where I am homeless so they can hire some random fucking troll to legitimately, and the cops won't think anything of it because I'm a homeless guy. And I know it sounds far-fetched, but it's real. You can ask my friend CIA hole. You can ask.
No, Chance, that sounds totally crazy. I'm not drinking coffee out of a homeless Ark mug right now. That would be ridiculous.
Matthew Partridge, who was just in earshot to you. Matt, what's good, brother? You can ask my little brother Ethan Rust. You can ask my buddy Matthew Burgess. You can ask anybody. These guys, they want me dead. These guys get off on seeing what they consider lol cows, they get off on that shit. And I'm not the first one. Actually, dude, I did. And the reason I know that's because what we did is we went back and we added up everything from the time I started. From the time I started doing music and doing YouTube in 2010, we added all that up. Between 2010, when I first started, and now, I've lost out on $1.1 million a year. With everything included, that's music, that's merchandise, that's content, all that added into one. I've lost out on millions of dollars because of these guys. And that's not even counting when I was fucking streaming on Twitch. When I was streaming on Twitch, I was making $150 a day, dude. I was doing great. I was making $150 a day.
He made $150 one time after streaming for like 10 days, and then he violated TOS and never even got that money paid to him. That's how dumb he is. Let that sink in. Again, this is like, there were times when I was a corrections officer where it would snow really hard, and we would actually get trapped at the jail, basically, because it was a lot of, like, dirt roads that would get you in and out of the jail, and when it snowed really bad, there was just no way to plow them, so we would get stuck there, and new guards couldn't get in, and the guards who had been working the shifts couldn't get out. So what we would do is, we would end up working a double. You'd work 16 hours, they'd let you sleep in a bunk in the barracks, and then you'd work 16 hours again the next day. And, like, if you did that for like 4 days straight, I mean, my God, you could have like an 80-hour work week. Your check was insane. But it would be totally unreasonable for me to take that check that I made maybe once a year if I was lucky and be like, who are you talking to? I make this amount of money a check. Like that, because that's not the average. That's not your average. That's like a massive outlier that happens to you on a very rare occasion. And even that example isn't perfect, because at least in that scenario, I actually worked for the money, where Cyraxx was fucking around on Twitch and getting a few bucks here and there from buddy trolls, and then, like I said, it never even got paid out to him. That's like Tofia saying that she makes $6,000 a month because the GoFundMe happened that one time, which, hilariously enough, she never saw that money either. So it's always such a ridiculous claim when he says that.
I think about that. $150 a day for an entire week, you're looking at over $700. And that is included. You know, that does go into the whole thing.
$1,050, Chance. That's how much you're looking at, which I guess technically you were correct. That's over $700, but 150 times 7 is not complicated math to do, and it's weird. I almost feel like he was doing the times tables, like he was 15, 30, 45, 60. It's got, that's only 4 and we're at 60. We gotta be over 700 here. Like, he just, I know that you've demonstrated to us before that you can't operate a calculator, but come on, man, just finish doing the math. It would be like if you asked me, what's 10 times 100? And I was like, over 800. And it's like, well, I mean, technically that's correct, but why would you say it that way? That's weird.
And their whole reasoning behind it is because I'm a supposed I'm not. Music Biz Marty took and made a pass at me a little over 7 years ago. I turned him down. So what did he do? He hired the most hated individual on YouTube at the time.
No, he didn't, Chance, because he never hired you to do anything. And also, there's no evidence that Marty ever made a pass at you. But there's like hundreds of screenshots worth of evidence of you trying to lure kids into your goblin cave.
Whose real name is Kate Peters, who goes by the name of Mastro Mafia, or at least she did at the time. But now she goes by Masshole Reports, or whatever it is she goes by. I don't fucking know, because I haven't kept up. Because quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. He hired her to do an illegal on me. No cops involved, no nothing. What about it? Totally the most illegal way you can do it, to isolate me.
It's amazing that his argument about this has, like, evolved over the years little by little, to the point that now he's fully admitting that he got caught in the sting, but he's saying, like, oh, based on, like, some legal semantics, technically it was illegal because there wasn't a cop involved, so therefore she's the bad guy? Like, I don't know, man. Even if the sting didn't have, like, the stamp of approval from the government, I still think you're the bad guy because you fell for it. I don't care if the sting was conducted by a group that I don't agree with at all. Like, if ISIS was conducting predator stings and then somehow you got caught in it, I still think that at least in that individual scenario, you're the bad guy because you're the one that was trying to talk to a kid. Like, I don't care who conducted it or how.
This man wanted to isolate me so he could get back at me. He wanted revenge because I turned him down. I'm straight as fuck. I've been engaged 3 different times, never married, So
Well, that just screams you're straight. You keep getting engaged to women, quote unquote, and never marrying them. It's also hilarious that when he says engaged, he just means dating someone who in most cases he never even met in real life. Like he just means whenever he says engaged, he means I was like talking to who I thought was a woman on like Discord or Facebook Messenger. He's not talking about like we dated for months or even years, and then I saved up a month's salary for a ring, and then we went through the engagement. Like there's no proposal. It's just like him saying your turn, cutie, to someone means I guess you're engaged now. Great.
yeah, I'm straight, dude.
Could you hear how true that was? Could you hear the absolute vitality behind that statement as he laughed through it like it was funny for him to even say it?
I've been engaged 3 different times, never married. So yeah, I'm straight, dude. These guys have done so much criminal shit. And I do mean highly criminal shit. These guys have shattered the windshield of my mom's car. Like you guys saw, they tried to torch our van, essentially attempting to turn it into which is considered domestic terrorism. These guys have broken into my mom's bank account, took my signature from a court document, lifted it. They lifted my signature from the document. They copied it, put it on a fake legal document. These people have tried to have me because a few years ago I was shot at through my bedroom window. So yes, I did attempt on my life.
God, he's really just running the gauntlet of telling every lie he's ever told. Let's jump over to the next one. Alright, so at the time of recording this, which is only a few hours before the drop, this was only released an hour ago, so this is like hopefully the most brand new one that we're going to be covering today. Ideally, what's been happening recently won't happen, and as I'm halfway through editing this, I won't see that notification pop up that another one came out, and we can keep up with the news cycle. So let's get into it before he rears his head and decides to shout some more slurs and give me another video to edit.
But I have something that I want to speak about. Now, as many of you may know my story already and whatnot, some of you may not know tragic and very dark things that I've been through over the last 6 years. I've been shot at. I've had people try to turn my family's van into a by taking a blowtorch to it.
You know, it's incredible that he ended the last video telling all of these lies, took a couple of hours to calm down, came back in a different mood. He went from Smugraxx and Rageaxx into Cyraxx, and then started the video out still doing the exact same thing, telling all the exact same lies. At this point, I'm looking at the Cyraxx cycle of like WWE Raxx and Cyraxx and Taxraxx and all these different Raxxes that we deal with, right? And it's like, oh my god, they're not even different characters. They all say and do the exact same things. They just do it in a different font. You know what I mean? Like,
I've been assaulted, harassed, I have been dehumanized, slandered, defamed, and all kinds of messed up stuff. But over the last few days, things have been getting very difficult. As far as how violent things have been getting. Which has been putting me in a very, very strange and very hard position. As many of you guys know, I've been a gaming YouTuber and musician / music artist for pretty much my entire YouTube career. I came up doing underground rap from the Juggalo community, in a sense, because yes, I used to rock with ICP and all them, and I still do to a certain extent. Like, I don't follow the lifestyle, but I do listen to the music still. I have nothing but love and respect for everybody from DP, Blaze You Dead Homie, Twisted, ABK, all those guys. Nothing but love and respect for them.
and they have nothing but malice for you, Chance, because nobody likes a predator.
And that kind of led me into doing the music that I do now. You know, because listening to them, I started to expand. And I eventually expanded into other genres, experimenting with other genres, even creating whole new genres of music throughout my career. And it's a career that I can look back on and be very proud of. But over the years, I also had acquired other skills, like learning how to make music videos, how to animate music videos, you know, all that stuff.
I don't say this lightly. I really thought about it for a minute before I said it because I wanted to see if I could give him any credit where credit's due, but I can't. I don't think he has a single thing that I would consider to be a skill. If anything, he's lacking abilities that most people have that aren't a skill, but are like a baseline for being an adult, like being able to take a shower or keep your bowel movements from happening when you don't want them to.
But over the last few weeks, things have gotten very, very dangerous. couple days ago when me and my family were asleep in the dead of night. Yeah.
No, there's Sally in the background. Chance.
Hold on one moment. I'll explain things to you guys. Just give me one moment here. What?
So before I start it back up, he's gone for about 5 minutes there, and there's like no audio. It's not like some of the other situations where they're screaming at each other and we can glean anything from it. But whatever Sally had to say to him, it sure did take a while.
Sorry about that, everyone. I had to let my dog out real quick. I need to use the bathroom. But as I was saying, these last few weeks have been getting very dangerous.
Yeah, they are. I mean, at the beginning of this video, we saw goblins are threatening people's lives on live stream. So yeah, I would consider that pretty dangerous.
Ago, when me and my family were asleep in the middle of the night, somebody decided to take a blowtorch in an attempt to turn our car into a bomb. They torched the side of the car thinking that they hit the gas tank side. And had they succeeded at that, my family might not be here right now. That being said, we've been trying to launch an investigation with law enforcement and nothing is being done. So that being said, as much as I don't want to have this happen, out of the safety for myself and my family, I am not only retiring as a full-time YouTuber and diving back into other things such as film work and going under the radar, script writing, doing storyboarding, all of that stuff. I'll be doing that full-time. It was never my intention to retire from YouTube, nor was it ever my intention to retire from music. Because music's always been a very big part of my life. It's always something that I've done. It's always something that I've, not only had a passion for.
I'd be worried, guys, because if he really retires from music, then like Suno AI is going to go out of business.
It's something that I was able to create a career out of for a short while. But due to the nature of how violent things are getting, with trolls getting more and more extreme, I have to think about my family first. And the safest thing for me to do is to go ghost and retire as a YouTuber and music artist for a while and lead a normal life. As much as I don't want to, I have to protect my family. These people have gone above and beyond to put my family at risk. They've been ramping up the danger slowly, and when they torched the van, it really made me realize just how violent and extremist some of these people are willing to take things, and just how much of an extremist some of these trolls are.
Well, Chance, when you made those threats at the beginning of the video, it reminded me, and I've had this thought in the past watching some of the old Marty streams and stuff like that, but I don't think I've ever seen it live like this. It reminded me, like present day right now, how badly you need to be in prison or a mental institution. You are a criminal. You are a danger to society. You have demonstrated that over and over and over again. You choose your prey specifically based on who is vulnerable, like elderly women and children. And I don't think it's enough for you to be taken off of the internet. I don't think it's enough for you to have all of your accounts banned on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. I don't think it's enough for them to pull a Bob Chandler and lumberjack the internet out of the house. I legitimately think that for everyone around you's safety, you need to be locked in a cell. So that's our coverage of the Goblin today. I'll be live streaming tonight, normal time, 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern. We're going to cover that video that I played at the beginning, at least that I played what I could, completely uncensored. I'm going to be talking a whole lot of shit. Like I said, I even have had to kind of censor myself quite a lot during this video, which, as many of you know, I will not be doing on the live stream. There's a reason that these things get archived afterwards instead of getting left up. And hopefully by then, and with a beer or two, I'll be in a better mood to talk shit on all this, but man, it really just, normally it doesn't piss me off the way that it did today. Normally I think it's funny, I laugh at it, I crack jokes, but it just, I don't know, man, something about today, he just got under my skin, and I wanted to be as clear as possible about what a degenerate criminal I think he is. So that's it for today. Thank you guys for coming by the channel again. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Like I said, I'm putting these episodes up on Spotify now as well, because YouTube seems to really enjoy censoring a lot of Cyraxx content specifically, and God forbid the channel ever gets taken down or anything like that. I still want to be able to get this stuff out there. So the link to the Spotify is now in the channel bio. You guys can go check it out over there as well. It'd be nice if you guys could give me a follow on there, even if you're going to keep watching it on YouTube, just for the algo. And until next time, you guys know the drill. Stay indoors, send every crime the Goblin has ever done to every email associated with the Akron Police Department, and to have a good one.